Welcome to the end week, 2 weeks in the session. Sometimes these sessions go rather quick. Work hard, and we get a lot to pass bills, a lot of bills out of the House, and a lot of them have gone out of committee. And I want to tell you about one of my bills that I am so excited about because it's had a lot of conversation so far, and it's starting to move through the process. And this is a child tax credit. You may have heard talk about some of the tax cutting that we're going to do, and there'll be a big bill that'll have several different pieces of overall tax cut, a Social Security tax cut, and a couple other things. But this is in addition to that. It's a bill that is creating a child tax cut. So what this does, helping families who are not in the lowest income category, just those who are maybe the lower middle class families. And this kind of came to me out of working with childcare, because I realized that there are so many options for families that are in low income. For instance, in childcare, there is a federal subsidy that pays for childcare for low income families. But once you rise above that kind of low income point where you lose that subsidy, there's nothing. And families in that category need help too. They need help for childcare and other issues for raising young children. And so that's what this is geared to help, that lower middle class. And what it does is you get a child tax credit for children 0 to 5. Again, these might be children that you need childcare for, or maybe you're going to stay home and take care of them yourself, in which case you might need a little extra help. And it is $1,000 a year, based on $1,000 a year tax credit, depending on your income level and so on. It is non-refundable, which means that it just is taken out of the tax that you would have normally paid. And goes up, and it starts phasing out depending off your filing a single or filing joint. It phases out in the like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 income range, and gradually phasing out. So again, we're trying not to create a cliff where all of a sudden you have it and then you get a raise of $10 a month and you lose it. Trying to phase it out. So I'm really excited because we've had a lot of talk about it up here, both the House and the Senate, and there's some pretty good support for it. And so that bill is starting to make its way through the process. And I really think if we can get this passed, it will help a lot of families who are just in that spot that they just need a little bit of extra help. So excited about that bill and the process that we're making with that. Another bill I want to talk about actually passed out of the House. What it did is the townships have currently been getting their police from Salt Lake County, and we were thinking about ways that we could help them do it this way for them. And this bill has gone through a lot of versions, and what we ended up with today in the bill that we passed, it was a sub that allows townships like White City to choose. They can either form their own, or they can band with other townships and form their own police department, or they can continue to be under the county and as they are now, and it's their choice. That's the part I love about this the most. It's up to them. Or they could get another city, like for instance Sandy City or another neighboring city, and combine with them. But the part I love the most is they get to choose, and their destiny is their own choice. You know, while we're up here during the session, we have the opportunity to have guests come and visit us, and that is always a special moment. In fact, today there was a very tender moment. It's a moment that I always need a tissue for. was we had families of fallen military people come into the house, and we were able to recognize them and to have a moment of silence. And when I look at these families, the children and the wives and the parents of people who have put their lives on the line for us, and now they're gone, it's very tender and it's very sweet. I really am glad we have the opportunity to pay tribute to them and to their service. We also had this week a woman from Afghanistan come and visit us in the House chamber. She was responsible for helping many people get out of Afghanistan. She put her own life in danger to help people. And here was this woman who has helped other women, who's helped children, and be able to get out of the difficult things that are happening in Afghanistan. And she's actually kind of short and just an amazing woman. And you think of her and what she's done to help people in a difficult situation. And it was just really a great opportunity to pay tribute to her and the amazing things that she's done. It's great to see so many people in the world who are working to make the world a better place and to help others. So those are some of the highlights for this week, and we still have 2 more weeks, so I'm still anxious to hear from you and to get your feedback and to get your thoughts. And I mark them down in my book, and I really do look at them, and especially as we have really important issues come before us, I always look and to see what the people who I represent think about these issues. And that really helps me as I'm considering all the points of an issue. It helps me to think about how I should cast my vote. So thank you, and I welcome you to continue to contact me. Thanks. See you next week.